Welcome to Libertarian Times. Today, we're here at CPAC Paraguay with Matt Schlapp. Hello, Matt. Thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me this interview.
Great to be in Paraguay. Thanks for being with us. How many CPACs you've been to?
Well, I've been to Argentina first,
Yeah.
then to Hungary, now here, and I'm planning to go to Mexico. So thank you.
That's pretty amazing. Thank you for being with us.
It's an honor. Well, I wanted to start with Paraguay. Why did you decide to have a CPAC here?
Paraguay is a great country in South America that is trying to keep China out of the backbone of its internet. It's a great pro-life country, and it's very pro-American. Even its flag, red, white, and blue. When we asked the president who their most important relationship with is overseas, he said America. So we think this is the right place to be.
Amazing. Well, could you tell us what's your opinion on the president, Santiago Peña?
I've just getting to know him recently, and I think he's a very courageous man. I think he understands that the globalists and the EU are trying to dictate terms in Paraguay. Joe Biden tried to dictate terms in Paraguay, tried to push policies that the people of Paraguay don't want, and he's come to realize that that's a big cancer in his society, and he's ridding Paraguay of all those influences.
And being here in Paraguay, getting to know the people, what's your opinion on the country, and have you seen it progress?
Well, I wouldn't know if it's progressing or not. We'll know when we come again, right? But I think it's a beautiful place, and people seem happy. It's a religious place. They don't seem to have tremendous problems with crime. We drove around the streets last night, and I think it's a country on the rise. And it's always fun to be in a country that's getting better instead of a country that's deteriorating. I've been to the UK recently, to London. You go to some of these Western European countries, and it's sad to see what they're grappling with the increased crime from the out of control illegal immigration. Just like it's sad in America to visit some of our big cities and to see how much they've denigrated. It's always great to be in a place that's on the improvement.
Yeah, it gives you hope. It makes you hopeful. Well, talking about Latin America, I wanted to know, are you planning on doing other CPACs in different countries?
Yeah, of course. We're always thinking about where we should go. We're getting interesting phone calls. I always have interesting meetings when I come to these events from people that are saying, why aren't you coming to my country? So we'll be going to more.
And also, we see that the right is really gaining strength here in Latin America. It looks like almost a certainty that in Chile, there's going to be a right-wing candidate that's going to win. And also, Colombia seems to have some good chances. What's your opinion on the right being on the rise?
Well, we'd like to be in both of those countries. We're planning on having a CPAC in Colombia. Look, I think these elections are very dicey. I think they'll be very close. They're difficult to win. But every time we have an achievement, it makes a big difference because it gives people hope. I still believe that we're the majority in most of these countries, but I think there's a lot of shenanigans in the elections. There's a lot of lying in the media, and there's a lot of people who don't participate because they don't see the use, and they're also worried that they could get arrested if they express their conservative views. The jailing of Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil has a great chilling effect, a negative chilling effect on good people who believe in freedom because they worry that if they express those views, they can be prosecuted.
Yeah, I believe that's the worst thing that's happening currently in Latin America. The freedom of speech is being attacked.
Yeah, that's exactly right, which is why are they so afraid to let us talk? They're afraid to let us talk because they know that the more we talk, the more people will say, well, that makes common sense. I think I agree with that. And they'll reject communism. So speech is what it's all about.
You also touched upon Europe, how it's being very violent, many immigrants. Are you also planning on doing more CPACs there, trying to bolster the conservative movement?
Yeah, we'd like to go to the UK. We'd love to go to Italy. Obviously, we have a great CPAC now for several years in Hungary, and we've added Poland to that list. So, you'll see more European CPACs as well.
And around the world, you also have a CPAC in Japan, in Australia. Are you planning to expand into other countries, other continents?
I think we're on 5 continents, so that's pretty good. But I think we'll be expanding the number of countries that we're in. Australia is what I go to next. We have a very special relationship in Australia, but the people have had a hard time. They haven't had a lot of political success in the elections. The Republican Party, their version of the Republican Party or the Conservative Party has really let us down, just like the Tories have in the UK, just like the Republicans did before Trump. So one of the sad stories of these countries is that the party that's supposed to stand up for them isn't doing it. And CPAC has a role to play in that.
Yeah, and now we also had Eduardo Verástegui, and we also have many other figures on the rise in different countries in Latin America. What's your opinion on Eduardo?
I love Eduardo. He's a great guy. He's got a good heart, and I know he'd be a great future president of Mexico. But it's a tough system to break out in. I mean, it's most of these countries have an election system that's not as free and open as it should be, and Mexico is an example of that, where the socialist presidents use the system to essentially bribe people through jobs and government, support, and that helps you in the process of voter registration and everything else. So. Mexico is got a lot of issues, and they need some real reform in their democracy.
That's true. I agree. Well, I think CPAC is also really helping drive the point home that Latin America and other countries are not alone, that the U.S. sees them, because that has been a main concern of Latin American countries, that they argue that the U.S. doesn't see them, that it doesn't favor them, looking to China, to other countries. And I think CPAC is really helping.
Look, our CPAC is there to help. We don't have to lead the effort, but we need to assist the good people in these countries that are trying to do the right thing. And so we're always there as a supporter. And sometimes we can say things that people in a country can't say. Usually, especially with Donald Trump in power, they're usually not going to arrest us or anything like that. So, we have a little more leeway.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I wanted to conclude this interview with a message to the people of Latin America. What would be your message?
Vamos a ganar. We can do this. We have to maintain hope. We have to work together, and we have to push really hard. It's a time for fighting. If you're not a fighter, get out of the way, because we need fighters in order to save civilization and end communism.
Well, thank you, Matt. Thank you for giving me this interview. It was an honor.
Yeah, it's great to have you back at CPAC.
Thank you.